Would you please shut the hell up?
From the latest news to heated debates, we got you covered. Every week, we dive into the world of professional wrestling, sharing our insights and opinions on the hottest topics. Plus, don't miss our top 3 winners and losers of the week. It's always a showdown.
What you gonna do when Hulkamania destroys you?
But here's what makes us different. We want you to feel like you're right here with us. Our goal is to make you a part of the show, because after all, wrestling is better when it's shared with friends. With 2 years of experience in the wrestling media scene, we're more than qualified to bring you the inside scoop and a fun and lively twist.
What the Rock is cooking.
Get ready for a funny, loud podcast where you're not just a listener, you're a valued member of the conversation. Welcome to
Ho ho ho! We are back. Took a week off last week, but we are back again. It's your boy Kenny. It's your boy DJ, and you are back with another edition of the Call Up Podcast. DJ, what is going on, bro?
It's showtime, folks. It's your boy DJ out here on the West Coast. I just watched my team make their first round pick in NFL draft. With all the quarterbacks gone, I guess that was a pretty good pick. So just as long as we don't pick a scrub, that's all. Like at that point, just give me somebody that ain't a scrub, and I'll go with it. But yeah, I'm having fun.
I have no faith in the Giants to pick anyone good. That's why I just skipped the whole draft. I just skipped the whole draft altogether.
Oh, you didn't even watch?
Nope.
Oh man. Oh, ye of little faith. They probably did all right.
Yeah, man. So what's going on, man? We were off for a whole entire week.
Yep.
And we missed so much stuff.
Yeah, no, so I've just been doing my thing. Shout out to one of our listeners, Leonard, who lives here in LA as well, and we met at Dave and Buster's and watched we watched the show. We watched the AEW show. So again, for those of you, hot tip, look up your Dave and Buster's. All you got to do is if you buy one drink, boom, you can watch the whole show. So,
and check those the movie theaters too, because I know, I think it was Regal or AMC. They show the AEW pay-per-views whenever it's on.
To get in?
It's only like $23.
Free for Dave and Buster's. All you got to do is buy a drink.
I mean, listen. You spend
$23. So first off, wait, before you say that. So the Giants picked one of the best, they basically picked arguably the best wide receiver in the draft.
Nah. Somehow, some way, the Giants are gonna go and ruin this for everyone. And just be like, you know what? We're gonna trade him off to the Colts for another draft pick later, to be announced later.
You need to trade that quarterback, and then you'd be all right.
They just need to trade half the fucking team. How did the matter of fact? Let me ask: how did the Jets do?
Oh, gee, let's see what the Jets. How did the Jets? Let's see. So the Giants. So they got Malik Neighbors, and then the Jets. Let's see. So they picked. Oh, so they picked JJ McCarthy.
Okay, not bad.
Oh wait, no, that's No, that I'm sorry. That was who the Minnesota Vikings actually traded and got JJ. My bad. No,
Jeez.
they got the offensive tackle, like this like the big African kid with the like I could
You better do something.
Fashanu from Penn State, who is like he's pretty good. Like that guy's pretty good. I think he's like 340 or something crazy shit like
Mhm.
that. And yeah, he throws grown men around like they're children.
Damn. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. So it's actually a damn good pick. You guys got they gave you guys an A on that one actually.
Oh man, I don't know. We got to see how the NFL season starts up because last season everyone got hurt. It was a shit show of a fantasy league. If you had like your favorite players on there, you thought that they were gonna do well. They end up playing like shit. It was like a whole big thing. I don't know, but speaking of drafts,
Oh,
WWE, we go right into the news right now. So
That's right.
WWE has announced their draft. It will start this week.
right.
If you guys are listening to this on Friday when we drop the audio version of it, obviously tonight on SmackDown, they're going to start round 1 of the WWE draft. We already seen some people get fired from WWE.
And some
Obviously,
actually
there's
quit,
some,
by the way.
yeah. Obviously, there's some stars that are going to be eligible for this draft coming up on Friday. Before I look up who is eligible, DJ, who do you where do you want to see who go where, and what is the plan? Do you think WWE is going to have for them depending on where they go?
So if correct me if I'm wrong, is Ricochet on Raw?
So let's see, where is Ricochet? Yeah, Ricochet is on Raw. He is eligible for Friday's draft. So there are certain people who are not eligible for the draft on Friday
Mm-hmm.
because they're all going to be safe for Monday. So Braun Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, the Viking Warriors, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Shayna Baszler, the whole entire bloodline. Let's see, Meechim.
Now, can you pick factions? Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
sometimes
No,
they
you
do.
could pick.
Sometimes they
It
don't.
looks
Yeah.
like you could pick a
Okay.
whole faction since you have the whole entire bloodline
Okay.
all
And they should do that
eligible
on
to
the
get
game
drafted.
too. On 2K, they should make it where
Mhm.
you can, where you can
Randy,
pick the
yeah,
factions.
Randy Orton,
Mm-hmm.
Ricochet, Andrade, Bianca Belair, everyone from Alpha Academy is all. Oh, and Seth Rollins, they're all eligible to get drafted. Friday night, plus some NXT stars, but they just didn't mention which NXT stars will be available to draft on Friday.
Mm-hmm. And then kind of like Clown is saying, like you might see some folks that have been on the main roster for a while,
Mm-hmm.
go to NXT for a little while to help the kids out.
Yeah, I want to see
Um,
Seth Rollins go to NXT.
That'd be interesting. That'll be an interesting thing to do. Because now NXT, I don't, especially the guys that have done so, like they've already kind of, we've seen them do it all already.
Mhm.
So I don't mind seeing those folks go to NXT for a while, and
Mhm.
then again, you're down there to help the kids out. Like so,
Yep.
that's all you're doing is helping the business. And then that little crowd that's in there, like they're gonna be behind you. The little
Oh, yeah.
crowd that goes there every week. So, so yeah, no, it's gonna be that. Like this is how you keep things interesting after Mania. Like this is the
Mhm.
thing that we didn't get a chance to discuss that much was that I think people forget every year there is like you went on this roller coaster
Mhm.
that was climbing this whole time, and in WrestleMania you get to the top of the thing and come down the big drop of a roller coaster, right? So now you're at the bottom of it again.
Right.
So you got to let it cook. Like everybody, I think we got this they're used to this instant everything in
Mhm.
our first world that we have here. It's like, no, this is, you got to let things happen. Hold on.
But let me ask you this: do you think that
Mhm.
the draft is worth it?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because if you're gonna have the two brands, and then
Mhm.
one brand is on over here and one brand's over there, then yeah, you need the rosters to fit that. Like, so one brand is gonna be for, like, let's face it, for Netflix.
Mhm.
All right, and then one brand is for the the casual crowd that's gonna watch SmackDown, like the crowd that doesn't
Mhm.
really have cable, or they're not really wanting to pay for Netflix. People that just still really watch broadcast TV, that's what SmackDown is for.
Okay.
That's why so that was the reasoning behind my Ricochet question.
Mm.
Because I think it, like, we're going to talk about Ospreay some more.
Mhm.
But I just saw something. Like, so now that, like, so after I've watched these matches that I've seen now,
Okay.
and I went back and watched some more of, before I say what I got to say, I want to make sure I've watched, like, all the big matches of Will Ospreay.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say some stuff tonight. Everybody's not gonna agree with me, but I
Oof.
got film. Like, so if you don't
Okay.
believe me, you can go look at the film. And that's why I think it's the reason why I think Ricochet's about to go to SmackDown,
Right.
and why he's about to win the Fast tournament, like,
Mhm.
on X or Twitter.
See, I'm with Crown. I don't. I say it's worth it
Mm-hmm.
once you actually like hold true to what you say when certain people are just on that brand,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't want to see um Ricochet go to SmackDown and
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden a month later
He's
he
on
makes an
Raw.
appearance on Raw. Like it doesn't
Just
make
for
any
some
sense.
feud. He's on
Yeah.
Raw. Yeah.
Like I don't want to see that. You know what I
No,
mean?
just so
So
that means if you're gonna do it, like, so I do agree with that. Like, if you're gonna do it, then go all the way. Like,
mhm.
tell your writing teams, no, these are the folks you have to work with whatever storyline. You can't pull from another roster
Right.
and go like that. Like, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's, stay the course.
Ken is in the building right now. What's up, Ken?
What up, Ken? Ken, we got Clown. We got
Mhm.
Respect the Craft
We got
podcast.
Ray in the building trying to hide from people because he's about to get put through a table this
Uh
weekend.
oh.
Poor
What
guy.
did you do, Ray?
He's always doing something, man.
No, that's just one of my favorite lines from Ghostbusters.
But he,
They're
you
always
know,
fucking Ray on Ghostbusters too. So,
but it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens on Raw. Come Monday after this whole draft happens on Friday.
hmm
I think there's gonna be a lot of different shakeups. I don't see
sure,
Alpha Academy staying together.
I don't
Um,
either.
yeah, and I'll get to my reason why, in a minute because Chad
No,
Gable is a part of our show notes here.
right. No, I think I'm gonna
Um,
agree with you too. I
right.
think I know where you're going, and I think I'm going to agree with you. But yeah, I don't see a reason to keep them together, really.
There was a post that we put up on the Caller Podcast Instagram page where we saw Becky Lynch win the Women's World Championship. The Women's World Championship, which was
hmm
vacated by Rhea Ripley due to injury. Um, Monday night they had a battle royal. They had all the women from Monday Night Raw come in this battle royal, and they were gonna crown a new women's champion. At the end, Becky Lynch ended up becoming your 7-time women's world champion,
Somewhere around there.
right? 6 or 7. I posted in my comment there. I said why. In the group chat,
Which
I
I
said
hearted.
right. In the group chat, I said this made no sense. She has won the title multiple times, which is fine because Ric Flair has done it, John Cena has done it. But for me, I just feel like Becky doesn't need the title right now.
No, I'm gonna agree. Like, I felt like they could have done something fresh, which,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe they're trying. Like, So maybe this could be totally transitional, and they just want her to be the person that goes against whoever wins at this next premium live event. That might be what's happening.
Right.
But I'm just saying for this moment, like, hey, you guys listen to us call out AEW when they do some shit that was like, so we're doing the same here. I think they could have made a better decision here and still had a good title match for the next pay-per-view without Becky. Like, I think we're pretty, I think we've had our fill of Becky being in the main event. Like, we're not saying go throw her away somewhere. We're just saying we've seen her in the main event for I don't know how long now. We're good. Like, let her go to the mid card for a little while. Let her go down for a little while and let us see some new blood in the main event. That's all. That's why people are booing, and that's why because I heard a spatter of boos when she won. So
I mean, you listen. You have other women in this division,
absolutely,
that are making waves on TV every week. Yes. You guys build up Liv Morgan every single week, and it's like the guy from the old man with the fisherman rod.
Oh, you almost had it.
You almost got it. That's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have Nia Jax, who has been killing it since she's come back. We've advocated for her a number of times on this show, and it's like same thing. You get this close, and it's like, nah, we changed our mind.
Back to Bex.
You know, we just give it to Becky Lynch. It's all right. You know,
which is how I still don't like. Right. So I make I have fun with talking about John Cena, but that's really what I just got stale of him. Like it just seemed like in that era when he kept getting the title, there was nobody else but him or Randy Orton, and I just kind of staled on it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not so I have fun with it, but that's the real reason why I staled on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as much as I like John Cena, there was a lot of times where he did not deserve the title, where he could have. And then there was times where like he could have just took the L and went over.
Yeah, the Nexus thing. I'm like, just take the L. It's all right. Like, that was a good group. It's all right to lose to that whole group.
You killed the whole stable.
Yeah,
just to make yourself look good.
Yeah, it's like, damn, it was all right for you to lose to that stable with 5 good wrestlers on it. You were good. Somebody in the weekly steel chair with Becky Hogan, the politician.
Wow. I did see people refer to Becky Lynch as the Hulk Hogan of the women's division.
Oh my god!
And I found that funny because there was like a whole big thing. There was like a whole big thing online.
Some people even put the handlebar mustache on it.
And there were others that were like, "Oh, but she puts a lot of people over." Becky Lynch went down to NXT and she put over all these women in NXT. It's okay. That's great. We're not knocking that. We're not saying she doesn't put people over, but come on. This is the same thing that we had when Charlotte was on SmackDown and she was just getting opportunity.
She can go away and come back and just grab the mic. I'm getting the title shot next. I'm like, well, hot damn, you just walked in the building.
Yep. So it's like, oh man, all right. Now what? You know what I mean? So now I want to see what they're gonna do with Becky Lynch and this title and who she's gonna put over, because I don't see her losing at Backlash.
Okay.
To whoever it is she's gonna face. And that's even if they decide to put that title on the card. Because Backlash, they only do they're only probably gonna end up doing like 6 matches. The most,
I think it's usually about 6. Yep.
Right. The most because now they only do like 6 matches per pay-per-view now, so they wouldn't be that long, so they can send people home.
And
I'm
really like they're on fire.
Looking at the chat here,
like Gus, he don't Liv at all.
They had some talk about Chad Gable. We'll get into that.
Right.
Becky Hogan with the politician. Yeah, we talked about that. I've never liked Cena for that exact reason. More damage than positive he created. You know what? And it wasn't until with Weekly Steel Chair, like it wasn't until I think later on in his career where he started to put more people over.
Mm-hmm.
where he started to give more advice to like a lot of the NXT stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because I guess he knew like I'm going to transition out of wrestling and go into Hollywood. Let me just do what I need to do for the business and then be out the door. Because I think that's where we're getting more of the like what the John Cena we're getting now is the same guy that is the same Randy Orton that we're getting now. They're
True.
just there to have
Yeah.
fun and go home.
That's right. Yeah, because it's that time. It's that there's a particular part of your career
Mm-hmm.
that you even recognize that, you know, when you were young and coming up, there were the veterans that had names that
Right.
helped put your name up, you know, because they knew that they were going down or going, you know, on their
Exactly.
way out. And that's the way it, like, that's how you keep things going. Like, that's
Mhm.
exactly how you keep a thing going. The weekly steel chair is on fire, and I just
Yeah,
want to
he's like
say
she didn't put
something.
anyone over, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Gus goes, Liv Morgan is horrible to be honest. Becky
Yeah,
is just
he didn't
holding
like
the
he don't
title
like Becky.
to hold it for now for
Liv at all.
Liv to beat her at a pay-per-view. So they set up Liv versus Rhea, in my opinion. I think that's true. I don't how long is Rhea Ripley out for? She's out for a good couple of months.
And I just have this feeling. I don't know if I believe the injury. I just think it's maybe rest or maybe
Right.
whatever it is.
She was walking with the cat. She had the cast in her hand
Mhm.
for a good minute. She had the soft cast for a
Right.
good minute.
I just
And she, you know,
it's hard for me to believe it's a real injury. I think it's just vacation, in my opinion. And then so another thing, so weekly steel chair with the ratings decline. So that could be, but just
yeah.
keep in mind what I just said though. Every year after WrestleMania, there's a ratings decline. Like it's always a lull after this huge event that all of these storylines end. You have this big ending with all the confetti and everything, and then what do you do after that, right? So there's always a ratings decline after me. It's this anti-climb, after you climax and you want to nap kind of thing. So so that's like, so just, I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm just saying
Right.
also remember that's kind of a tradition at this time and during the wrestling year that there's a little bit of there's a bit of a decline. People
And this is why we get backlash. Yeah, but it's so crazy too because Ken even said it. He was like Rhea and Dom works way better than Dom versus Dom and Liv. And it's crazy because like Dominic is hurt now. He's out with an injury for a couple of weeks. Rhea's out for a couple of months. So now you only have JD, Finn, and Damian Priest for Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
And
see, a lot of these folks remember like that road to WrestleMania. Like that's when you do that's the most work that you're gonna be, like all those house shows, all those appearances. So that's why sometimes it's kind of hard for me. I think people go, I need a rest.
Take an injury real quick.
Yes, yep. So that's what I mean. It could be real. It could be real. Okay, but it's just like from that, for her to just get banged into a wall, and the shit that we've seen her do, it's just hard to wrap my brain around.
So Ken is asking, are we seeing the Judgment Day being broken up before our eyes? I think so. I think at some point they're gonna just pull the trigger on Judgment Day. I think it's gonna be
Priest versus.
I don't think it's gonna be right now. I think it's gonna be more towards the middle of the year.
You gotta have that jealousy for the title build up, like that Priest won the title.
Rhea's gonna come back, and she's gonna probably ask what's going on with her being gone. That's gonna set up maybe something between Dominic and another member of Judgment Day, maybe JD. We could see Priest versus Finn at some point, maybe SummerSlam.
Right.
Never know. Never
Which
know.
is an interesting match. Like when you think about it, that would be an interesting match to have. Priest versus Finn. Maybe Finn showing up as Demon King, and you got all kinds of stuff you can write in there.
Chad Miller's in the building. He goes, I'm coming in hot tonight. I understand why Becky won the world title, but damn it, Nia Jax should have won. F Becky. Yeah, no, I listen.
He did come in hot.
I agree with Chad when I say F Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. Nia Jax should have won.
No, we are all for, like, this show is all for somebody that. So forget that whole first half of what she was doing.
Mhm.
Like, she went, did the work, came back, and now she's a completely different wrestler and looks like she's better on her feet and everything now. So, I think like you're saying, like, this was possibly should have been the reward for her at this point.
Yep.
Let's see what happens at the next pay-per-view.
Leon's in the building, says, "What's up, guys?" He says, "I'm gonna be the hose." Okay. I don't know what hose he's trying to be, but listen, just wear protection out there. Just wear protection, bro. Wear protection.
Steel Chair wanted Shayna to get the title.
You know what? But Shayna's over now. She's over on NXT because she just made an appearance on NXT this week.
That, yeah.
That was pretty cool. I like when a lot of like the main roster people go down to NXT because it gives everybody a little treat.
Right.
It keeps them there for a little while. You work one day a week, which is Tuesday,
and you're teaching. Like, I'm pretty sure you're in there teaching. Yep.
And obviously, people are learning from you, and soaking up as much advice as as possible. Especially, stuff when it comes to like the road schedule and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! What the Weekly Steel Chair say? He says, "I wonder if we're going to see Finn versus Priest versus Punk versus Drew McIntyre. That's a lot of people for the world title. Like, you're putting a lot of pressure. I would love for them to just expand that off. You know what I mean, and just stretch it out a little bit, and not just give it to us all at once.
No, that's it. It is interesting. Though.
Yeah, because you gotta stretch out Damian Priest's title reign somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But that does show though that he has a line of people though. Like, it's not, it's not going to go stale that anytime soon.
Right.
Now that he won the title, now that the bullseye is on his back per se, and and you have some quality opponents for him to come after him. So that particular title picture is set up. Like, we got a whole like, just what Steel Chair just said there. That's like a whole year of stuff right there.
Yep.
Let's see, and then Gus, yeah, you're right. Like, she is a character that doesn't necessarily need the title. So I agree with you there. But I'm just saying, for this particular situation, and just in this situation, I think that, in my opinion, that would have been a better pick than Becky.
Tyson's in the building right now. What up, Tyson? You late, bro? We're already like 28 minutes into this thing right now. You coming in right now. Another interesting happened this week. And not for nothing, this is part of my losers of the week. I'm gonna put this guy in my losers of the week column. Right? And that's Tony Khan.
Oh boy.
Tony Khan a couple of years ago said that he would not be an in-ring person on TV. He's just going to produce wrestling and show wrestling on his program.
He did.
Wednesday night, we see Jack Perry. I don't want to call him Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I'm going to call him Jack Perry. Get in the ring with Tony Khan. Now, I already knew that when we saw the backstage segment, and you seen the Young Bucks, you seen Okada, and you seen Jack Perry, and they're like, he wants to meet Tony Khan in the middle of the ring. I said, this is not good. This is not going to be good in so many ways. This is going to be, Tony Khan is going to do something, or maybe somebody's going to come out and save him somehow, some way. No. We get Jack Perry attacking Tony Khan. We get the Young Bucks doing stuff to Tony. Everyone's attacking Tony. He takes a move from the Young Bucks. He gets hit by Okada. It just looked bad. It was all around. It looked bad. Did he take it? Did he take the moves better than say Vince McMahon back in the day? Yeah, but because you gotta,
Carter?
I think he took it better than Dixie Carter. But you got to think about it like this: Dixie Carter is more heavier than he is, and so is Vince McMahon.
True.
Like Tony Khan is what, like 100 pounds soaking wet. They picked him up. These guys picked him up like it was nothing and held him tight. All right. They hugged him like he was Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard, bro. It was just there. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no way in the world. Like even when they did the move and they dropped him on his head, I looked at it and I was like, damn, you could have let him felt it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like even Austin used to give a little extra to Vince, because Vince even said, he was like, yeah, man, some of those times I fought Austin, it hurt. You know what I mean? Give him a little.
Well, I mean, because he used to wear the booty shorts and he couldn't get his foot up quite to the stomach for the setup for the stunner. So half of the time he would kick people in the balls.
65% of his weight is powder. For Jamal.
Oh, that threw me off. And then I had a guy going back and forth with me because there's a picture. If you look at some of the still shots, and there's referee Aubrey, she's doing look at me, and this guy she's doing everything else the other referees are doing. I'm like, no, she's going to going to business
always.
for herself.
She always does that. Yeah. Listen, we
right. And the guy went back and forth with me. I'm like, this is a known thing. Like, this is not.
I saw that. I saw the back and forth because you sent the screenshot to us. The guy's a fucking idiot, because we all know that Aubrey goes into business for herself. Even when she goes to like concerts, she's just like, oh, you don't know who I am? Remember that one? Like a year ago, she went to a concert and there was she felt offended because the people who were she went to go see didn't know who she was, and was like, and the first thing that comes out their mouth is, oh, I haven't seen WWF in so long. And she was just like, oh, I don't work for that company. I work for another company called AEW. You should really check out what we do. And the guy kind of just brushed her off and was like, yeah, okay.
Now go to your seat in the bleachers and enjoy the concert. So yeah, it was like, that was definitely one of the things in my L column too. It was not like to have that. You just crowned a new, like, so I saw somebody say it, like, I mean, yeah, Gus. It's like, so you crowned a new champion, and he wrestled on this show. And that was the segment that you ended the show on. Amongst other things about that particular, when we start going in Dynamite, like that's
okay. So supposedly, the reason why Swerve didn't get like this big celebration was because of the NBA playoffs this week on TV. They want to capitalize on the Boston Celtics game that's happening on Saturday. So they kind of figured that those people are going to stay to watch Collision right after, or they're going to watch Collision first and then go into the game. This is all Tony Khan's brainchild of thinking, of marketing. We've seen time and time again that this does not work. It just blows up in his face. Even with the ratings this week, it was like it went lower than the previous weeks. Because like when Mercedes debuted, it was around 8. She stood the last 2 weeks, it was around 8. Then last week it declined, it was like around 7 and some change. This week it went lower to 6. I think it was like 632 or something like that.
Yeah. So like I said, I think there were a few things in that last episode of Dynamite. Now, Steel Chair is saying, well, there might have been a scenario where they asked him to speak, and if he, so let's say he did say that I just want to have a match. Okay, why did we wrestle this guy? Why do we keep bringing people with other titles onto your show? So, and then I really don't think there's there's much of a cross section of people that are like hardcore NBA fans that are watching playoff basketball that are waiting to watch AEW. I don't see it. Like, show me, until I otherwise see it in the numbers. I don't
Listen, the only way that I could possibly see that they're gonna get high numbers is if like the sports bars are playing the game, and then they kind of just leave it on there, and then you're drinking, you kind of look up and you're like, yo, they still show wrestling out here on a Saturday night, and it gets people talking.
Right.
But then guess what's gonna happen? Those people are gonna say, yo, is this WWF? And they're like, nah, what is this? AEW? What is AEW?
Yeah, that's what happened the whole time at Dave & Buster's. Wait, is this WWF? No, it's not WWF.
So I don't.
But didn't that guy wrestle? Yes, he did wrestle in WWF.
You'll probably get maybe 1 or 2 wrestling people that are there and be like, oh no, this is such and such, and blah blah blah. You get somebody like me who will sit down and break the whole thing down to you, and then your drunk ass is kind of just looking at me like, okay, whatever, and they'll just sit there and watch it for a little bit until the bartender just changes the channel to like, the NHL or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and that constantly happens. But I don't know. I'm afraid because we're gonna get more of Tony Khan in the ring. We've seen he's living up to the gimmick because he had a neck brace on when they were doing the I guess it was like a little press thing that they were doing for the Jaguars for the NFL draft, and they had an interview with Tony Khan, and he had like a full, not like the what was the guy from ECW?
Oh yeah,
I
know what you mean.
Right, that he used to wear the neck brace, not like that, but he did. But he definitely, it definitely was like a legit neck brace that he had on. So shout out to him for just living that gimmick and making it even more real than normal.
But the people on the
that's right, because his dad came out on the show. Because I remember like Jackie was saying like, oh, who's that guy? And I was like, oh, that's his dad.
Yeah, Florida shirt on. Those of you who don't like, Florida shirt is a linen button up short sleeve shirt is what a Florida shirt is. I put flip flops on. What happened to my son? What's happening to my money?
Oh, that's exactly what he's saying is what's happening to his money. Because my God, all he's doing is spending it, Dad, on all his new friends.
So yeah, so it was not. I don't think it was not. I don't think. If you're like Perry, I just don't see Jack Perry as this person that's gonna be this star that's gonna put you over the top. And then him acting, I don't know. Like it's like they're trying to recreate the Stone Cold and Vince McMahon thing, and not hitting
Jack. So Jack Perry is Austin.
So I can't even put that in the same sentence, but, but
That's what they're going for right now. Jack Perry's Austin, Tony Khan is Vince McMahon, or it could be that Jack Perry could be a Triple H character in this, and the rest of them are D-Generation X. I don't know. I don't know what Tony's mind frame is right now when it comes to this creative idea of like, hey, this is what's gonna make the ratings go up, and still nothing.
Somebody put it up here, like they threw some spaghetti up against the wall.
And
Let's
they're
see
just
what
hoping it
sticks.
sticks.
Yep.
Oh my god. Anyway, so last week
Mhm.
WWE revealed 2 different tag team titles.
They did.
Awesome Truth got new tag team titles
Mhm.
that looks more like the World Heavyweight Championship, but just in tag team form. And then SmackDown said, you know what? We're gonna outdo you. And they gave A-Town Down their own tag team titles, which not for nothing. They hands down, they have the best titles.
Man. Because it's like a tip of the cap to like those 80s, like the Heart Foundation kind of tag team title. Heart Foundation, British Bulldog tag team titles. And then they still put, like, if you look at the detail though, they go into the metal and put the little details in there, and oh man, no, like you said, the Raw ones are cool. I guess I'm not really with the red in the metal.
Right.
I guess it's just not a thing for me. Like, it's kind of throwing it off for me. The shape and everything is okay, but I just like the SmackDown titles are good to go. Like the
SmackDown titles remind me of, remember when Raw and SmackDown had their own tag team titles, where one was like red and the other one was blue, like the letterings were different. Okay,
Yep.
that's what those tag team titles remind me of.
I can see that as well. Yep.
You know what I mean? It gives you that old school feeling when you look at these titles. And I was just like, man, like I haven't bought a belt in a long time.
Right.
And I'm just like, man, when it's available to ship, because I think right now you can order it, you can pre-order it, but you can't, it's not gonna come to you in hand in a couple of days or a week or so. Like you're gonna wait a couple of months to get these title, this title in your hand.
Right.
But my God, like when these titles officially, I won, because I want to see this in person.
No, they're absolute, like, so those and so if they wanted to sell titles in this this last couple of weeks, like they got me with the People's Championship and the SmackDown tag titles. Like they got me. I kind of want those.
I'm hoping they come out with the People's Championship.
Yeah, they have to.
I definitely want to order that too.
Yep.
But everybody else, like Weekly Steel Chair, he was just nostalgia redo, exactly, new generation tag team titles. Everybody seems to like them. Everybody seems to gravitate more towards the SmackDown tag team titles, which is great.
I'm just glad they don't look the same. Like, I didn't want them to look the same. Like the other sets of tag team titles, like the two
penny tag
head.
Yeah.
Like, nah, so.
See, even Leon says, he's like, I'm sorry, the world tag team titles look ugly as hell. Plastic Walmart ass belts. You know what? And I totally agree with you on that one too, because I think the same thing. Like when I saw the Raw tag team titles, that meme that goes around where the guy is doing an interview and he's like, brother, ew. That's what I thought. I was like, ooh, what is this? Like, who thought about this? Who designed this title and said, you know what?
This is it.
This is it. this is gonna get people to buy this boat. Yes, this is gonna sell out. No, it's not.
Do we have like and for real? I'm not gonna even make. I'm not gonna even make fun of you. But is there anybody in the chat that is for the Raw tag team title?
I don't think so.
Because I just want for somebody that likes it, I'd like to know why they like it. Like, I'm not gonna make fun of you. I just like to know, like, okay, what makes that? Let's see what we got here.
I'm sure when we clip this, somebody on Instagram will let us know that they love this. They love those titles.
Hey, I can't really. I like what you said there. And where you from? Still K.
Yeah, it's a weekly still chair. Where are you from? Because you coming in hot today.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna just have a wild guess. Is it like somewhere in Canada?
Let's see what he says.
When he catches up, he will.
I actually think that they're nice as well as
Scotland. Okay.
Scotland. Wow. Okay. Scotland's in the house. Welcome.
Yeah. I love it. We worldwide.
See, even he prefers the SmackDown tag team titles, even though he likes the Raw tag team titles a little bit. He's more favored towards the SmackDown title. So like we're all
and I agree that the Raw is a good refresher to they're definitely better than the ones we had. Okay, the red strap that we just got away from. Definitely, those are better than that. Okay, so I will give you.
I actually like those tag team titles.
Okay, I still think this one's better than. I mean, that's fine that you like those, but
I have those tag team titles in my collection. So I'm the only one that like the SmackDown and Raw tag team titles just the way they were.
Maybe.
I guess. Just me, ladies and gentlemen, okay.
Oh, you used to being out there.
I know.
Yeah, that ain't nothing for you.
Something really interesting happened over the week. So, guys, there's times where obviously there's nothing in wrestling really to talk about. Everybody posts the same thing over and over again. And like me and DJ, we like to be a little bit different. So if you go on the Caller Podcast Instagram page, there's tons of stuff that gets posted on there, from old school videos, maybe updates on stuff that happened throughout the shows of the week. And then from time to time, my crazy mind starts coming up with all these different posts to put on there. And I looked at the I sat there in the morning and I said, you know what would be fun? Let's put all the champions together in one post. So I said, this is the first time in history that we had 4 African-American champions in 4 different companies, meaning WWE, NXT, TNA, and AEW. Now, a lot of people probably listening to this right now, you're like, 4 black champions? Wait a minute. Damian Priest is he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, I'm talking about Cody Rhodes. I put Cody Rhodes, I put Trick Williams, Swerve, and Moose all together and said, they are all black champions. Now, if you're kind of wondering, well, what do you mean, you guys? Because we blew up the internet for 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay, this went all over the place for 2 days. We even had people make videos about this.
Yep.
First, we got a lot of heat from a lot of people in the IWC. Cody's not black. Brandy Rhodes is black. That's not the same thing, you know. And it was like, and I even got somebody that said, stop messing with black wrestlers before you get canceled. And my reply was, well, go ahead, do whatever it is that you want to do, because I don't give a shit. Right. I do this for fun. This right
Right.
here, me and DJ sitting here for an hour, 2 hours. For me, it's like me catching up with DJ on a regular basis. Even though I
Right.
talk to DJ every single day, but it's through text. This is the one time that me and DJ, it's like we FaceTime each other to talk about wrestling.
Right.
Leon's
East
like
Coast, West
Black
Coast.
History Month made it to April. Yeah,
April.
I wish
Still
it
cheers
was.
loving it.
I wish it was Black History Month when we posted this because it was funny.
No, this was hilarious. Yeah, it's an inside joke. Like, this is a thing that's been said like in small circles forever. Like, I'm getting some of you probably caught on to that Cody basically black. And then didn't he have a promo or something where he talked
Yeah.
about Black history when
Yeah,
he was in
he talked
AEW?
about when he was in AEW. He was fighting what's the guy's name? The boxer.
Oh, that's right. Agogo.
Yeah, Anthony Ogogo.
Yep.
He came with this whole we are the world, kumbaya, racial togetherness promo, and everybody was just looking at Cody Rhodes as like, okay, Malcolm X, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, we seen Cody do a little rap promo on SmackDown. We seen when he was in AEW and he was doing Being the Elite, and he was just like, he was talking about House of Glory and how he said Master P bought House of Glory, and he made the Young Bucks was like, make them say na 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 na. Like, come on, Cody's black, bro. I'm sorry. Like, everybody on Black Twitter all says the same thing. All right,
Right.
Cody gets the pass. All right, he comes to the cookout. He's bringing
Right.
the
even in the
good
racial draft,
potato
like the
salad.
black delegation like
You know
to
what I mean?
like to draft Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes.
Like we're trading Swerve and we're getting Cody. Like that's how black Cody Rhodes is. Okay, Cody's more black than freaking Swerve. Okay, like
Ooh.
come on now.
Ooh.
He's not pretending.
He's not pretending.
And we got a lot of heat from it, and I was just like, damn. And then people start like tagging the page in other pages.
Yep.
Where people started making videos. It made it onto Twitter.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I clapped, I laughed, it put a smile on my face because it just shows the movement that we're doing. Like,
right.
just off that one post alone, which it was great. It made more people come over to the page to see more, even though they want to give a shit for it.
Yeah.
Shit, we even started some fights in that post. People still arguing with each other right now.
Right. It's like
in that post.
And we all know Twitter's the Waffle House of social media.
Mm-hmm. You bound to get into a fight.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes I'm like, man, let me get away from this app. I'm like, I feel myself getting angry for no reason.
There was a couple of times where I wanted to go back into I wanted to go back into the comments and say something and be like, and I was like, you know what? Let me hold back. Let me reel it back in and not play into it. That's why I just say, hey, listen, if you guys have something to say, please come on the show on Thursday. Come in the comments. We will put your comments up there. We will talk whatever. Right now, if somebody would have been like, yo, Cody's not black. He's not one of us. But guess what? Like Leon said, Cody's one of us. And we sticking to it. Okay? I'm not the only one. See? Leon's on point.
Man.
But it was fun to stir the pot up a little bit. We don't do it often, but when we do, we blow up.
Because we're whatever. Like, that's one thing I like about our show. We are 10 toes down. Whatever we said, like we said what we said, and it ain't gonna be. We don't parrot everything that everybody else talks about on this show. We don't.
Mhm.
We don't.
Right.
So come with like we don't say nothing that I don't like. We nor Kenny say anything that we don't like. I can back up what I say. So come. So I don't know, man. People
And
like you said, keyboard warriors out there.
Look, Steel Chair,
Yeah.
all the way from Scotland, gets the joke as to
he's
why
over
we
there.
say
He's
Cody.
he's over there hollering. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's what you're supposed to do. Still, like that's what this is for. Like we're supposed to be having fun with it, not this
Yeah.
whole.
let's see what's the chat
Uh-oh.
Miller said. I'm sure the Turnbuckle podcast has something something about it. I'm sure. I mean, they still follow. We still follow each other on IG. I'm not
follow you
blocked.
anyway.
I'm not blocked yet. You know, I maybe I missed the list of cuts.
I'm about to say, I don't know what I did, but
Guilty by association.
yeah, I guess so. Like they said, him too.
You have no shame.
I don't. I really don't. If they want me, if they could invite me. All right, I'll go on.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we be right there. All of us in the chat we'll be right there to support you. Don't touch my friend. Leave my friend alone.
Like, I'm sorry you think Daniel Bryan is the greatest wrestler of all time.
I kind of think that though.
Of all time? Of all time. Of
yeah.
every wrestler ever to wrestle, Daniel Bryan.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say of all time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that Daniel Bryan is one of the best wrestlers.
He's one of the best workers.
I would say he's in my top 5.
For me, he'd be like in the top 15. Which is not bad. There's hundreds of wrestlers. So I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just of all time, like that's all I'm saying.
What did Leon say?
Thank you. So Still Chairs hears me.
Before we get into our next topic here, Leon goes, by the way, off topic, but did y'all see the new rare photo of Benoit in the car with Julia? Really?
I did, just barely.
I did not see that.
Just barely. I wish and it was during I wasn't thinking about it because I was watching the draft when I was just kind of scrolling
through.
Yeah. So maybe that's something probably bring it up, like bring it to where we could put it up one day. But yeah, no, that was kind of if it's like you kind of make that face when you see it.
Damn, I gotta check out this. This picture.
Yeah, and I only got to see it for like as fast as you scroll kind of thing. So I didn't really get a chance to really look at it and dissect it, but I did see it.
Yep. Weekly Steel Chair. I think he's top 10, but the greatest of all time is Bret Hart.
Okay.
And
there's an argument for that. Like I can't so that there's certain people that you tell me you think this like person X is a GOAT, and I might not think that person is a GOAT, but it's like that there's an argument there. So I can go, yeah, okay, I can live with somebody saying Bret Hart, but there are certain wrestlers I'm like, no, that's no. I'm not.
You know what? This gives me such a great idea that one week we gotta pick a Thursday to do this.
Okay.
That we're going to break down our top 10 greatest of all time.
Okay.
People.
I think that'll be a good one.
Okay, and we see where we put our cards on the table and we see where they land.
Yep.
We'll even bring in some other people on here to be like, I think this person is here, right?
I think that's a good show there.
Just letting you know, R-Truth is on my list.
I don't think a lot of people can argue with you now. Top 10. Come on.
I'm putting R-Truth on there. Fucking workhorse.
I don't think there's not a lot of arguing to be had on that one. I'll fight with you on that one. Damn it.
Leon goes, he's never seen Brian Danielson as a draw. Funny enough,
That's
Before
thank you, Leon.
before I got really back into wrestling, Daniel Bryan was the reason why I came back to watch wrestling full time. I would kind of just watch it here and there. If
Mhm,
Raw's on and I kind of click on it, like, oh, look, Monday Night Raw is on. Okay, I remember when The Rock was on there. I was one of those people.
mhm,
You know what I mean? Oh, I remember when Austin was on there. And then I started watching Daniel Bryan, and I got a part of the Yes movement. And I said, this guy, I like him.
mhm,
And then one week turned into another week. That turned into
mhm,
another week. Now I'm sitting here watching the Royal Rumble. Now I'm sitting here watching WrestleMania and watching
mhm.
Daniel Bryan win the World Heavyweight Championship against two guys. And I'm cheering like in my lip, yes, doing the whole yes movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
See,
that's
to
one of
me,
the reasons. That's one of the
so
reasons
for me,
why.
it's the exact same, but it was the Shield that brought me back.
Mm.
I don't know what it was, but just the group, the Shield, just
Mhm.
really captivated me. They just got my attention. And then, so like you said, then during that whole thing, Daniel Bryan was one of the characters that I was like, okay, yeah, I can root for that guy too. Um, but I wasn't, and I was, of course, everybody like they told the story so well, like
Mhm.
you had to root for him
Right.
in that WrestleMania. So yeah, that's so kind of the same thing. Like I took that
Mhm.
break, like I think everybody did, and then around that time, that's when I think most of us came back was around there.
Chad brings up something very good. And actually, I forgot to put this on the list of things
Oh yeah, this is a good one. Yeah.
to talk about, which is great because Chad was in the chat. He brought this up. So there is a law that's passing now that the non compete clause is
Mhm,
going to be tossed out the window when it comes to professional wrestling.
mhm,
When I was reading this, I thought it was a really good thing because the whole 60, 90 days
yeah.
non-compete, you can't wrestle, you can't do this, you can't like it hurts. Even though WWE was giving them money, they were still
Mhm,
paying them
mhm.
to just sit at home and do absolutely nothing with
Right.
yourself.
Right.
It still kind of hurts because you're going online, you can't do interviews, you can't do this, you can't go on indie shows, you can't really do autograph signings because you have to wait until whatever time
90
you
days.
have,
Yeah.
and that's a lot.
Like that's a whole quarter of a year. Like, you know how much can happen in a quarter of a year,
Hmm.
so
A lot.
so this was, I call this like the basically the world cleansing itself of
Hmm.
the Vince McMahon like vengeance stuff, like
Exactly.
the just him being an asshole, like like for all the good, like that's the thing about Vince, like for all the things, like we're here because of Vince McMahon, like let's just throw that out there, like we're
Hmm.
here, we like wrestling because of Vince McMahon. Okay, that's just the truth. After that, though, after that, then this bullshit just starts to pile,
Hmm.
and just stuff that doesn't. I mean, to have a guy have to sit out for 90 days after you've already released him, come on, like that's just him being like that's just being an asshole. Like that's why I'm completely in favor of this. Like after a person is gone, just like any one of us, when we get released from a job, you can go get another one right. The next day, you could be working somewhere else. That's the way it should be.
Imagine that you get fired from your job and they're like, hey, listen, you can't go work for another company right now for a good 30 days, all right? 30 to 60 days. Like, you remember that thing you signed in HR day
Yeah.
of orientation?
Right.
This clearly states you can't work for 60 days. So you
Right.
can just sit at home. We're gonna give you unemployment.
Like Jamal said, so I think, for example, he's saying like so it hurts the market value, especially for those who didn't have much exposure. So a good example of what he's saying right there is Xia Li.
Mm-hmm.
The girl can work, she just can't like, so for reasons like she's not good on the mic, so it's hard for her to sell a match. But when
Mm-hmm.
she's in the match, she's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she deserves somewhere she's going to get some good ring time. Okay, that's all she really needs. And like he's saying, so now she doesn't have to wait freaking 90 days to do this. Like, even if I don't care if it's in the indie circuit, just some ring time would be good for her, and then let her build her reputation in the ring, so it won't matter that she doesn't speak that well. And then maybe some more practice, like she'll have a chance to practice some more even for the microphone. But just not sitting at the house though. So sometimes you just need reps. Like, look at Drew McIntyre. Sometimes you just need the reps.
Yeah,
even though you still think he's a Popeye's biscuit, but at least he's.
I mean, he's been changing. He's been changing on it. You know what I mean? That promo that he did with Sheamus on Monday, that was pretty good.
Right. You could put the steel chairs comment up there.
I got you right now. Let's throw that up there.
Yep. I mean, and Nick is even on. He's on Busted Open even now.
Yeah.
So so these guys, there's life. There's life after this, and you possibly you can make yourself so big that they have to call you back. So
yeah, Steel Chair talked about Cameron Grimes.
Yep.
I was surprised when he got let go because I was just like, damn, like I thought
even if he went back to NXT, go let him have his character and that was working in NXT even. So yeah, I was surprised by that one too.
Gender could capitalize from the law being passed.
I damn near called it the Jinder Mahal law. That's damn near what I called it, because that's what that's the first person I thought of.
When they said Jinder Mahal, those were surprised. Like when Xia Li got let go, I was like, okay.
I think she asked to be released,
right? Because they wasn't doing nothing with her, and we talked about that. We talked about that on the show where they wasn't doing anything with her. Like, why keep her if you're not going to do nothing? Where she can, somebody like her could capitalize in AEW.
Yep. Or TNA or what have you. I think damn near anywhere.
Jinder Mahal, I could see him doing something over on TNA.
Because they don't like big guys in AEW, so I wouldn't go there. So TNA, yeah, I would go TNA.
They'll see him and they'll put him right on Rampage.
Yep. To lose to a 5'5", 120-pound guy that's flipping around.
Exactly. Cameron Grimes, I felt so bad for him just for the simple fact when he did the video about him getting let go and stuff like that. I was like, man,
no. It's heartbreaking.
It's hard, And then it's crazy because he was on Busted Open Radio this week, and he said that there was a top management person from WWE that said, you have nothing to worry about. You always have a job here. And then 5 days later, you got let go. That's some fucked up shit.
That is. Wow.
Like, you already have your anxiety levels up. And you go to somebody to try and calm them down. They get you to relax. And then you get fired 5 days later.
But I do agree with Steel Chair, though. You can't, if I were working there, I would, and I was a mid-carder, I would basically just have my heart ready until cuts were over.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can tell me. I wouldn't take anybody's word for nothing. I'll be like, no, I'll wait till the cuts are over and then I'll relax.
Right.
So until you're on an upper tier, then that's when now I don't have to worry. I think I'm on an upper tier.
But even if you're on an upper tier, depending on the situation that you're in, you can still get fired. Because remember when they had a couple of years ago when they had those round of cuts. And everybody was getting let go. And then all of a sudden, at 8:00 at night, 8:30 night, it was late at night when this news came out that Bray Wyatt got let go. And you're like, what the fuck? I remember when Bray Wyatt got let go, I was in Boston with Jackie at a New Kids on the Block concert.
So you're in there.
I was like,
you looked at your phone, like, wait, what the hell?
I looked at my phone.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Bray Wyatt got let go. Holy shit.
Yeah. but of course, I think there was other again. So he wasn't 100% either.
Mm-hmm.
So that there are some reasons to that too,
Right.
as we even saw in the documentary. And he
Still.
even you can kind of tell he even was like, yeah, I think I do need to go sit down for a minute.
Hold on, I gotta put something that Leon put up on here.
Okay.
So Leon goes, Impact is like the Tubi TV of wrestling. No, they're not. Don't disrespect them like that. Don't do that. The TNA be putting up some good shows,
I'm
man.
about to say y'all leave Tubi alone.
Nah, I don't think that TNA is like the Tubi of wrestling, man.
Oh,
The way
that's fucked up.
AEW is acting right now, look like they being produced by Tubi people. Like that's well, I ain't gonna say that about them. That's NWA. Wow, that's messed up.
But
Jamal
that
with
one
the
I can't defend that one. I can't that might be right.
oh man. Weekly chair shot. They had a very good show this evening. Oh, okay.
Who, NWA?
AEW's on Pluto TV. Oh my god. Yeah, because TNA they have their shows on Thursday.
Oh, okay. That's
Mhm.
I'm probably doing.
I don't
that's
even
why
think my
missed it.
cable has TNA anymore because they used to record it on my DVR and I used to watch it like over the weekend, and I haven't seen any episodes of TNA on my TV at all.
Man. Because I did Still Cheers talking about just like I've always like really to this day I still kind of like the studio show, like the studio
Mhm.
weekly show where you're basically showcasing whoever and you're moving a storyline along
Mhm.
until you get to the arena. I kind of like that. I kind of still like that. So that's one thing about NWA. I think, maybe if they like, that's another promotion. Like maybe if they, it's like they just need a little something, like a little
They need that
something
little
to
push.
push them out. Yeah. But I do think that could still work. In fact, it might, because with AEW, like they've, like we've talked about, like they might have just they might have just, part one of the issues. I know there are a few, but that they might have spread themselves out too fast. Like they probably should have stayed at Daly's place for a while longer, even after COVID. And then your pay-per-views go out to an arena. That it might work better. I don't like, but that's what I, because you see the crowd at Daly's place, like it's a good crowd every time they do it there.
I mean, you think about it, Daly's place is like what Hammerstein Ballroom was to WWF back in the day.
There you go.
Like
it's
like ECW and Philadelphia. Like everything went hand in hand.
Right.
You're guaranteed to have a good crowd.
Right.
Now, if they would have went to Daly's place on Wednesday and it wasn't a big crowd, then I'm like, oh, okay, you guys need to do something.
Ooh, no, that would have been the first thing I would have said on the show. I was like, no, forget all the pleasantries. We need to talk about this. They can't fill Daly's place, but they do. So, and those people love the show, like so, and that's wonderful. Okay, so and then I think they would make more money, because I think they're losing money every time they go to rent these arenas and they're not filling them. So, and then every time you have a pay-per-view, now you go to an arena. That microphone echo was.
Yeah, that was on there. The microphone stuff was a part of my losers of the week because
that was gnarly.
They sang Willow's song. Well, the guy was singing something. I have no idea what the guy was saying in commentary when Willow came out for her celebration for her winning the TBS title. Even when Serena D came out, when they had the whole segment with Tony Storm, She was talking about becoming the women's world champion. I didn't understand one word she said until the end. Like, even Jamal said it, he was like, "Who the fuck was that dude?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I was still trying to figure it out.
Right. No, so that's why that I just put the show as one of my losers of the week because it was like there were so many things on that show that were misses, and this is like coming off. You had a fun pay-per-view. Okay, you had a fun pay-per-view to watch. Even as I was, me and Leonard were sitting there, and some people were asking us about the show, and but we were still having fun with it. And then you come on Wednesday, and then you gave us this
bullshit.
And it was like, the one thing, like, so you could like Cornette or not, but one thing that he says to put in a nutshell what the issue is, you got to stop doing stuff that entertains yourself. It's like you're doing things that entertain you. So only people that are like-minded, like you, are finding this entertaining. And now you're not making any numbers. This is television. Okay. At some point, the ratings are going to matter. Okay. Like you can, has nice arms. Oh,
Leon with the to be honest, Mercedes has nice arms. Okay. I don't know about everything else then. These are the comments that we get in the chat.
Well,
folks.
I mean,
I love it.
Because I guess he had to do something besides listen to her talk.
Weekly Steel Chair said that they have Daly's. They're gonna have Collision at Daly's place this Saturday, so they ain't going nowhere this week. Everyone's chilling in Florida.
I would be there for a while if I were them. It'd be a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a while if it were me. Oh, an A-cup implant? Like, so
damn, Jamal goes, looks like Mercedes got an A-cup implant. Let me tell you something. If you went that small for an implant, that's a damn shame.
Why you
that's
say
just
that,
horrible.
Jamal? Why you say that, Jamal? That wasn't right.
This is the show for the people. The people have spoken. She got A-cup implants. I mean, listen, we didn't say it. Y'all said it.
It's true.
We just put the comment out there. We said it at the top of the show. We put all comments up there. So we put that comment up there too. Don't kill us, ladies and gentlemen. You speak to Jamal. There is one person that I'm glad that is coming back to wrestling. I don't know in what capacity he's coming back to wrestling, but it's Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has been gone for a very long time. I know he was dealing with a lot of injuries. At one point, he didn't even know if he was going to be able. He didn't even know if he was going to come back to wrestle again.
Right.
And they made the announcement on Wednesday that Kenny Omega was going to be back on Dynamite next Wednesday, which was great. That should bring the ratings up.
Did they say we're going to hear from him?
I think so. Yeah, he's gonna be there live. So obviously he's gonna probably talk, and we're gonna get a segment with the Young Bucks, or maybe Hangman might come back because Hangman is gone too. Okay. You know what I mean?
Or wait, no, because they don't like from what they're saying that he is one of their ops, right? Because they kind of kicked him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So. Well, I mean, that'll be an interesting storyline.
Right.
I would just like to see him wrestle some better quality people.
Let's see what did Jamal have to say. It's only because there are in Canada. I get a feeling he's getting frustrated as well after hearing his Twitch stream. Yeah, that's right. I didn't realize that Kenny Omega is a heavy gamer and he's always on Twitch. So I haven't checked out any of the Twitch streams, but I'm sure that he's probably is frustrated. You know what I mean? He sees the things that are going on in AEW, and there's nothing that he can really do about it.
No, not really. because I don't know, because like again, what he caught is very serious, and I know it took like Brock Lesnar a good while
Right.
to get back from it. So like, what did somebody say they're in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one of the reasons why he'll be out there. And let's see what happens. It might just be a segment. Because I don't know if he can take bumps. I don't know what's going on with his health at all. Kind of like going back to Mercedes, like, here we are. We're how many weeks, and supposedly she's not cleared to wrestle, and I like how there's some people like really laughing at how they're making it where, so in the story she's trying to say, well, it was Willow's fault that she got hurt, and when you watch the match, she clearly hurt herself. So
Exactly. She did the move to herself and messed her
Yeah.
own leg up.
So it's
Idiot.
so that was kind of another head scratcher.
It's another congratulations, you played yourself moment.
Yes, and a head scratcher of a moment, and that when she said that, I was like, dude, I'm going to go get another drink. Like this is
Crack open another high noon, call it a day.
yes. Like, what am I watching? What?
So I did put this question out there, and I would love to hear from everybody else. Hear from you and everybody else that's tuning in right now. So with Kenny Omega coming back next week, what does this do for AEW?
Well, if he can wrestle, they should get another. It should give him a bump. I don't know. Like, I forget about the million and all that. Like, just they need consistency. Like, because even if they got to 1 million 1 week, okay, what good is it if they got to 1 million 1 week and they went back to 750 the next?
Right.
So I'm not worried about the number. Like, Chad's funny, but they need consistency. They need a consistent audience is what they need. It'd be nice if he was healthy enough to wrestle. Then you can build your O'Shea and him wrestling in their ring. So that would be nice for them. But I mean, to kind of go along with what Chad is saying, okay. So all jokes aside, it's still not like they gotta learn how to really build these people as like they should feel. This should feel at this point. It should feel like these guys are stars, and that if you were to flip this on, even as a cat, like, oh, what's this? And then this should be presented as, oh, wait, that guy's a star. Maybe I need to watch this.
Right.
And that's not what, like, that is the thing that is missing. Like, that is the thing that is missing from this show, is that it's like you have to already know that this person's a star. If you don't know that, shame on you. And now we're going to show you the stuff that you should already know that this guy's a star. That's why. Like, that's what's missing. That is what's missing from this show. And if they keep doing that, this is what we're going to see from here on.
I mean, this week AEW hit around 6 in viewership. Yeah, I think it was like 635 or something like that.
Oh,
but I saw it was bad. It was way lower than last week's. But I think now with the announcement of Kenny Omega coming back next week, it's gonna shoot back up to 8. It's like even McCrown said, it's a quick ratings bump for them to have all these guys.
Yeah, and if they take him out, then okay, even the hardcore fans are gonna be like, all right, you just took him out,
right?
What do I need to watch for now? I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing on Wednesday nights before I saw Kenny Omega showing up.
I'm hoping they keep him on there for a good while. Because they need the ratings boost. I don't see them. But who's gonna get them into the million spot when they decide to come back, and that's MJF. When MJF comes back from his injuries and his vacation and everything else, and I'm hoping it's not like an announcement that they make. Oh, MJF is coming back next Wednesday on Dynamite.
just hit
Nah,
the
I
music
need it
one
to
day.
be.
Yeah.
I need it to be a surprise. I
Right.
need this shit that you like. Tune into Dynamite on Wednesday. We have a huge surprise.
That's the only
Give me
thing.
that
Like, they
bullshit Tony Khan tweet. Check out Dynamite from Daly's Place. I got a
but it's
big
just the
huge
boy who
announcement.
cried wolf, though.
Yep.
I think they're better off. They're better off not making an announcement, to be honest, because they cried wolf so many times
Right.
that's not going to do it. Just
Mhm.
boom, hit the music, let people start tweeting, and then let him talk long enough for people to tweet, like literally for this. So for people to tweet, like, no, you need to turn it on right now.
Yep.
And then tune in to him talking shit. Okay.
Exactly.
And then that's how you do it, because you saying that you have a surprise, any of those announcements, no, like people are gonna go, yeah, nothing. What you're gonna be in Kentucky next week. That's yay, you know, that's what we, you know. So it's no more. Don't tell me nothing. Just do it now.
Yeah.
Like, because all of the announcements mean nothing now. You've
Mhm.
cried wolf too many times.
Yep.
We're not coming to save you now when the wolf comes.
And Weekly Chair Shot letting us know that Forbidden Door is in MJF's hometown. It's gonna be in Long Island.
Okay.
I want to try and get tickets to go and see this because
you oughta.
it's right there. It's
You
I'm
gotta
like
report. Come back.
I'm literally maybe like 20 minutes away from the UBS arena.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
definitely have to go and check that out, especially if MJF shows up for Forbidden Door, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Are you gonna at the concession stand? You gonna get a scarf?
Oh, whatever new shirt that they're gonna have for MJF, I'm buying it that night for sure.
'Cause I'd like an MJF scarf. I think that's one of those things I can do. Mazel
Just
tov,
need Tony to say he'll and his friends will see you next week. Mazel tov, bitches. That would have been cool for Tony Khan to say, but I don't think he's gonna do something like that. He's not that cool. We talked about Kenny Omega. Backlash is the next pay-per-view for WWE, and we are going to see Cody Rhodes take on AJ Styles. AJ Styles beat LA Knight to become the number one contender for the Undisputed Championship. I put down
and that he lost to LA Knight in WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I told you it wasn't gonna matter.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was just something to do to get a good moment.
That was the show. That's it. Yep.
I put it out there where I was just like, it's former Bullet Club leader versus former Bullet Club leader, and then somebody, obviously again in the IWC, was like, Cody Rhodes was never a leader of the Bullet Club, and I'm just like, if you go back, to New Japan posted on their website that Cody Rhodes was the leader of the Bullet Club when he was going with the whole back and forth with Kenny Omega, where like Kenny Omega with him was fighting, on being the elite, and they were like, it seemed like Cody was trying to take over, but it was really Kenny's reign as leader, and they kept going back and forth with each other. Mm-hmm. It is mentioned that Cody Rhodes is a leader.
No, I'm gonna agree that he was one of the leaders. You gotta. Again, it's somebody that's trying to nitpick you, per usual. Like somebody's always got to find something to argue about. Like, bro, go touch grass. You can look at it on their own website. Some shit that was 10, 15 years ago. It's all right. Okay,
I just think
Hogan, at WrestleMania 3, that was technically maybe the second or third time he slammed Andre, but it doesn't matter. Okay, just have some fun with the story.
Okay, so we seen. My question to you is: do you think this is going to be a good match, or are we going to get a repeat of Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the title at WrestleMania type of moment?
That it kind of slugged along and
That
um
don't don't be nice. AJ Styles versus Nakamura at WrestleMania was fucking garbage.
he
It
said
did
don't
not
be
live
nice.
up. It did not live up to the hype that everyone wanted to see.
It did. No, they and then as you saw, like each match that they had, they're just not good dance partners.
Hmm. But no, but I'm saying, but in New Japan, when they fought each other
Mhm,
outside of WWE,
mhm.
it was great.
Okay.
You get them in WWE under WWE style of wrestling. It was just
Or
garbage.
Vince's style.
Vince's style of wrestling.
um,
It wasn't the best.
but no, I do think I think these guys are going to be. I think it'll be fine. They like you know kind of like what Jamal's saying. Like they're gonna go in there. They're two veterans. They're gonna tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see AJ Styles almost win 4 or 5 times. For Cody to pull it out at the end. Um, so no, I think it'll be fine. Um, I think this is great for like let AJ. You know, even though like we're pretty much saying AJ's gonna lose this thing, but it's all right. Like it's like at this point of his career, like you're
Mm-hmm.
still like to be in a main event match still, and especially to look the way he does, like the way he got himself into this kind of shape at this point in his career is wonderful. So I think so no, I think we're gonna have a good match. I think we'll
Okay.
have a good match. Yep.
No, let's see. We'll find out in Backlash,
Yep.
which is crazy because Backlash is what, like 3 weeks away, and it's
Man,
supposed
is
to
it that
be
far
at
away?
and it's supposed to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, because it's gonna be because Steel Chair is gonna be there and he's gonna give us a
Yeah.
report on it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
please and thank you.
Yeah. Something interesting happened this week, and I'm glad that what happened a week ago, and it's just starting to grow more. And that's Chad Gable finally turning heel. And it's little by little, you're starting to see the change in Chad. Him attacking Sami Zayn after their IC title match.
Right.
Him taking his whole entire team and just belittling them
Yeah, just
in the
undressing all of
ring.
them. Yep.
And I'm just waiting now for him to do the ultimate turn. And there was a lot of people in the chat that was saying that we're gonna get Angle 2.0, and we're gonna get Chad Gable and the Creed brothers
Mm-hmm.
together as a stable. I'm 100% down with that because I think the Creed brothers are a really great tag team. I was following them in NXT. I was glad when they came up to the main roster. Sucks that they're stuck on main event a lot of the time.
It's all right.
You know what I mean?
It's all right. That's how you got to cut your teeth. You know, you got to still got to pay the dues and cut your teeth, and that's fine. Like you get your shot,
Right.
and then when you get your shot, you hit it out the park. And then I think I do believe these guys can do it. Like you said, Chad is like he's playing the Kurt Angle role very well. Which I think he's a better heel. I think he's better as a heel to begin with.
Right.
And yeah, no, I think this is great because also at the same time, like that was one of the that's kind of one of the things that was a worry of mine with Cody's title reign is that okay, now you have a babyface who is the champion, so now you need some really like if you're gonna have a babyface like this, you have to have really good heels or people. That's how you get stale is when you don't have good heels. So Chad Gable, so now you got Chad Gable, you got Gunter, he's about to wrestle AJ Styles. So okay, that's a good start to have of a lineup for to challenge Cody here.
Mm-hmm. do you think now with the draft being this Friday, do
Mhm.
we get to see Chad Gable because Alpha Academy
Mhm.
is available in this draft on Friday?
Right.
Do we see them get split up? Do we see them all moving on to SmackDown or staying on Raw?
Well, we're
Like
gonna.
when do we see the full breakup of Alpha Academy?
I think because it's gonna matter. Okay, because like we said, they are part of this draft, if I'm not mistaken. They have to get ready for who is going to be on Netflix.
Hmm.
Okay, do I have that right?
Well, Netflix
Um,
is not until January of next year,
okay, so maybe you got one. You might have one more draft then.
right?
So, all right, so that means that the Bloodline is probably going to stay on SmackDown then.
I can see that,
Okay, so you gotta have a heel stick because Judgment Day is getting iffy now. With
which is
both
crazy.
champions and injuries, right? So not really because people are not interested. It's just naturally what happens in wrestling. You have these people are throwing their bodies around. So you need a heel faction and on Raw.
Mhm.
So I think they probably stay because you kind of need them.
Because I'm sure Fox is not gonna let everyone
Bloodline.
from the bloodline just
No,
get traded
no,
to Raw.
no. That would be a
Even though,
shocker.
yeah, even though they got Cody now on
Right,
SmackDown,
right.
it's like who else do you need? You got Jade, you got Cody, you got Bianca,
How about I say you got Black Girl Magic?
you got Naomi.
Yep. So that's
But
what I
not
call Black
all of
Girl
them.
Magic.
But not all of them. Or what you call it? But not all of them
Yep.
are eligible for the draft. I think Jade is gonna stay on SmackDown. I don't think she's eligible
Hmm.
to get traded off. I don't think that
I think
they'll
all
trade her off.
three get traded. Um, I guess if I were to make a surprise thing, I say the Street Profits get broke up, and you have Tez go to SmackDown.
Hmm. Is SmackDown going to the USA Network in a few months?
Really? I'm not sure. I just read what
Yeah,
Jamal just
because
said too.
Raw. Yeah, because Jamal's saying that SmackDown's going to end up going to the USA Network. I know NXT is going to the CW
Mm-hmm.
because they already started rolling out the commercials for the CW
I saw that. Yeah.
and
Yep.
NXT.
Right. Which will probably give them a few more. To be honest with you, I think it will get a few more ratings on the CW.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know, but that's a good question. If it's going, I didn't hear that because I thought Fox paid a nice penny to keep
right.
WWE.
Yeah, I gotta look into that and see a little bit more. But that is very interesting.
Because usually that's the show that they sell to network television, the SmackDown, and then people pay they pay the network television prices for it.
So Leon goes, if they do keep it on Fridays, please though, I don't want to watch any Todd Chrisley episodes. Well, I think USA Network still shows the Chrisleys because they owe the money, so they have to show these episodes in order for the network to get their money back.
Right. That's only that's all it is, Leon. That's the only reason why
Yeah.
it's running because they, like you said, it's already money that they spent, so it's like we might as well play it because. But once that's over with, though, that's it. I think
Oh,
that so.
my fault. Hit the button again.
No worries.
Let's see. What do we have here? We have two more things to talk about here.
All right.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
when he lost the IC title, and Gunther he declared himself a participant in this year's King of the Ring. Now, I did talk about this where I said Gunther should win King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he's entering himself in the King of the Ring, which is great.
Right.
Now, I'm hoping that WWE does something big with this because of the long title reign that he had on not only NXT, but on the main roster as the IC champion. He changed so much of his gimmick to be even more of a heel.
Right.
Now, Da Vinci's out from Imperium, and you only got Kaiser
Mm-hmm.
that's left.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all you need, baby. Now put the crown on Gunther.
You know, like, I mean, then when you think about it, so because see, they've been showing, like, for this, they've been showing pictures of Bret Hart winning, of Stone Cold winning, like all these people that won, like that was like their first step was winning King of the Ring. Even after remember, both of those people were Intercontinental champions too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to show us that, hey, we're taking him up the old school way, where okay, you have the IC title, master that. And then okay, win King of the Ring, and then I honestly, like, I think one of these times he's gonna either win Royal Rumble or the Money in the Bank. One of those he's gonna win as well.
Right.
And then one of these WrestleManias he's gonna be slapping somebody around, like so. In the
I'm
main
trying to
event.
remember who we said should win Money in the Bank. Oh, LA Knight.
Yeah, we talked about LA Knight winning it. And that's, one of the reasons why he lost. That could be one of the reasons why he lost to AJ in this last match. So because that would be an interesting person to have running around with the case.
Right.
That's interesting. That is some interesting TV, because it's like, so every time a title match happens, are we gonna hear? We're gonna see LA Knight running down there. So
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen. But Gunther being King of the Ring, I think it works for him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, because he was even talking about bringing back Prestige to King of the Ring and making it something that, great again. And I'm just like, oh man, he's already starting. He's already campaigning. I love it. This is what I want to see. And I listen, it sucks that it's going to be in Saudi. The Prince putting out a lot of money for this.
Because if they have like the whole museum right next, like you can go to the museum too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have like the WWE like world experience at Saudi is gonna be. I think it's what they said. It's supposed to be better than what they did at Philly.
Well, they're trying to bring them dollars. They're trying to have you go over there and bring them dollars.
The Roman ruined King Xavier's run. Yes and no.
I kind of
yes. I say yes for the simple fact that it was more of a like. Why would you put Xavier Woods against Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns is like this big juggernaut?
He runs through Xavier.
That there's no way in the world anybody in creative is gonna say, well, you know what? Roman should lose the title to Xavier Woods.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Xavier Woods kind of killed himself with the whole the way he treated the King of the Ring, where like you just came off of beating Finn Balor. You should maybe take it a little more serious. And it was just Kofi Kingston running around as a court jester and you doing all these crazy funny skits and stuff like that. It was just like, for that, you could have put the crown on R-Truth and just called it a day.
I see there's some I've seen folks they're about tired of New Day. They're ready to put New Day away.
And it's sad because I love the New Day.
Yeah, I think especially they probably should not be in any more tag team title matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'll go with you on that. It's just, I don't think we need to retire them. Like, they are who they are.
Right.
And they are comic relief. Like like every good wrestling show has a comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a variety show, and then so you have some characters that are there to make you smile, and they do that. They've had enough time. Like they've had their title reigns. Like they squeezed everything out. Like you had two of them be world champions. Like they done did it. I don't now I think, like you said, they can just kind of have fun at this point. Like they don't really there's nothing that they haven't done, so they don't really need anything.
I see your point, Mr. Carter. I see your point. Some people probably don't get that reference.
Yes, they won't. They won't.
The last thing on the list of stuff for us to talk about is Chapter 2 of the Bloodline.
Chapter 2.
The Solo Sequoia era of the Bloodline has begun. We seeing a whole nother side of Solo. He's smiling, he's talking, he's being more of a boss.
Yeah. Yep.
He got Tama Tonga with him.
Yep.
As his right hand. Paul Heyman being showing everybody a masterclass every week of what it takes to be an on-air manager.
Yes.
A wise man.
Yep.
A special counsel. The mouthpiece.
And to sell this man as a dangerous man that you should be afraid of. Like that's what he's selling.
Right. But we talked about this where we said, like, when Roman lost the title, like what's going to happen now with the Bloodline? And we're starting to see it where like Jimmy now is out of the Bloodline. The way they kicked him out, because obviously he was dealing with injuries, so they needed a way to get him out. So now it just leaves Solo. Roman is off at Disney. Jay is on Raw fighting for the title.
Yeah.
Jimmy got kicked out.
Yep.
The Rock is off doing whatever.
Yep.
So you only have Solo left now, which we talked about this. It was like, hey, do you put Solo with Paul Heyman? And he kind of sort of is with Paul. But Paul's more like the I'm scared and I don't want to get beat up, so I'm just gonna sit here type of role, which is great. This is what I'm talking about, like the whole masterclass thing of wrestling promotion when it comes to Paul Heyman, because he is one of the best. And then you get Tama Tonga in there where you're like, okay, what is he gonna do? So he kind of now he's playing like the solo role of the group, and now Solo turns into Roman with just a little bit more pizzazz. If you I know somebody's gonna listen to this and be like, what the fuck did he just say? Pizzazz. Like, the fuck, what is going on here? But it's changing. He's changing into a better character for himself.
Well, and I think that was the point. So it's kind of like when you hear a good song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the song starts off mellow. Like listen to, you could take Proud Mary, for example, right? The way that Tina Turner does it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounds off nice and easy. And then that's what we were looking at with Solo for these last couple of years. He's the guy in the background, just the tough muscle in the back. And then so now that you had people needing rest, you had people had injuries. All right, it's time to now it's your time. Like, so, and then you have Roman just finish this whole big story. All right, now it's your time to come out front. This is what you were waiting for. This is why we told you to be patient. Like, you had to know, like in the back, he's like, dude, I want to do something. They're like, hold on. We're doing, there's a method to the madness here. And then here we are, like all of a sudden, boom, Tama Tonga. We're gonna see Fatu come in. So they kind of they had to replenish the Samoans here because people were getting tired and injured and going off on the other show. So we get another chapter where, like, at some point, one of these WrestleManias, we're gonna have like this freaking the Samoan Civil War we're gonna have at a WrestleMania at some point.
Leo was saying, was Jimmy's getting kicked out done too soon or done well to introduce Tonga? I think it was done well.
Same.
Yeah, I just because like with Jimmy being there, and so like if Jimmy would have stood, I don't think that Solo has that room to grow as a character, because you're gonna always trying to rely on Jimmy to give you that
brand recognition.
Yeah, to give you that promo, to give you that recognition, to maybe liven the crowd up. Now, because you have somebody like Tama Tonga who's not really gonna speak, now it forces.
And he could if you needed him to.
He can. He's good on the mic,
right?
But now it forces Solo to change and evolve a whole lot more as a character, and say to yourself, what do we do with him?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And once again, it's working. Like I hear, like in the dirt sheets here, they say that Roman also is, as he's sitting down, he's helping write the stuff for the Bloodline.
Right.
I can kind of believe it. And like you said, so I thought it was a good intro to Tama Tonga. It's also gonna they're gonna reunite the twins, right? So, so let that happen, and then that leaves it still even for this, per se civil war that you can have. But now you have both the twins on one side.
Yep.
So, and then you have we have Tama Tonga who, probably got more he probably got more famous than some of the free agents that AEW was turning cartwheels over. There's probably more people that know Tama Tonga now than both of them.
Exactly.
And I'm not speaking for us hardcore people. I'm talking about casual. I think now more casual people know who this guy is more than say Okada. Okay, so I thought I would have done it that I think they did it right on that aspect.
As much as I don't want to bring this man's name up.
But
do you think with Jimmy and Jay still going through their feuds, and now one's hurt and the other one's going for a title, do we see the dad getting involved in any way?
Yeah, you really don't like their dad.
Yeah, I'm not saying his name. I found another way to spin that around.
I think that happened when Jimmy is healthy, and then they're gonna. I think they have another match, but in this match, it is to the dad's gonna be like, "No, I want you guys to get back together like you used to be," and all this stuff, and we'll have another match where they end up at the end of the match getting back together. That's kind of, if he were to jump in, that's the way I would see it. I can't see him picking a side. It would be to get them to be the Usos again. Oh, Cody. With Jamal here.
I was looking at that right now. But yeah, I mean, let's see. You said you bring up the whole Civil War thing. I can see that with Roman coming back now, joining the Usos against this new formed bloodline that they have, with Paul Heyman just stuck in the middle because he doesn't know where to go. And that's the key factor there, because you could think that Paul Heyman is going to go to Roman, and then all of a sudden he just, like what he did with Brock Lesnar, flip the script and then go off with Solo and be like, he's the future.
And then you have and as we can see, The Rock can just basically hop in at any time. So
I hope we see The Rock once again. There has to be. I missed 2 big opportunities to see The Rock live. Okay, and I was here in New York when he was at the Barclays Center, and when he was in Philly for WrestleMania. I need one more Rock. I need another Rock appearance close to me.
I would like some because I've seen him live a good handful of times.
Right.
I would I'd like some kind of meet and greet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I like, that's one of those, like, I'll be one of the weirdos that'll get a tent and be out there overnight if I have to. Like, that's okay.
We watch you be
For-
over there.
Yeah,
Moana
for that I would.
movie
That's
set.
that's one of the things I would go ahead and do the overnight thing.
Right.
But yeah, that's what's I would, because like I said, I've seen him live.
Mhm.
And like one of those was 31 when he pulled Ronda out the crowd.
Okay.
And then I've seen him wrestle house shows, and
Right.
I went to a Raw. I went to the Raw that we found out Rikishi was the one who hit Stone Cold. I was at that Raw. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen The Rock wrestle live a handful of times, but to see this Rock final boss Rock,
yeah, no, that I think it's a
Bald-head
different
Rock, like that's a whole nother guy that I want to see.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see what happens with this new chapter of the Bloodline moving forward. I'm kind of hoping they stay on SmackDown so we can continue on with this story. I think they fit more on SmackDown than they would Monday Night Raw.
Sure. No, because Raw, like, you got the 3 hours, and you got, it's just a different setup, like you said. Like, I think that it works where where it almost forces to me, it kind of pushes the talent on SmackDown. They're like, okay, we know Bloodline's coming out here.
Right.
So if you want some of that to rub off, you better be on your stuff. So I kind of like that about the Bloodline being on SmackDown.
See, even Chad Miller sharing a moment. He said he was at the Royal Rumble where The Rock beat CM Punk for the WWE title.
Look at that.
That was good.
That is a good one. That's a good one.
DJ, do you have any winners and losers you want to share?
All right. So let's winners and loser. We would who's winners and losers brought to us by?
Let's see. Winners and Losers is sponsored by Ringside Collectibles. If you're looking for exclusive action figures, whether it's AEW or WWE, turn to Ringside Collectibles. Use the code word to call up. It's going to save you 10% on every order that you make with Ringside. They have exclusive action figures are hard to find, and some of them you can't even find in stores because they're exclusively to Ringside Collectibles. So shout out to them for being a sponsor of Winners and Losers this week. Take it away, DJ. Let's go.
All right. First winner, that finisher from Sol Ruka.
From
her name is Sol Ruka. And I guess you didn't see it.
No.
She had some shit where she bounces, like, it's gonna sound crazy as I say it out of my as I verbally say it, but when you see it, it makes sense. She bounces off so she runs to the ropes, bounce off the ropes, does a flip into a
okay, yes.
cutter.
She's the girl from NXT.
Yes.
Yes. You know what is crazy is I don't remember. I didn't remember her name.
Yeah, Sol Ruka.
Okay.
And then my other winner, I had to Trick and Swerve. Trick and Swerve were my winners for last week. Good job, boys. Good matches too. Like, they weren't just it weren't just these matches just to get crowned. Like, they actually had some damn good matches to win. So yeah. So both of them get W's.
Okay. Any losers?
Loser, Becky winning the Battle Royal. And then, just like I said, just the shit, like, Dynamite was just that was, I can see why the rate, I think people watched it and was like, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
So from having, your world champion start let's have your champion open the show wrestling against this other dude that also has a belt of some sort, and it just kind of goes down, and it went downhill from there. Howard, stop putting other titles on your show. now you have the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. What does it mean anymore? Like, so it's not even a thing. It's not exciting anymore. You already, the Forbidden Door is always open on AEW. I see everybody's title.
Right.
Everybody walks out with titles in every match. It's just like, no, it's watered down.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who from New Japan is left to even come through this door.
That's what I'm saying. Now you're getting it. And then you have an AEW guy fight for the New Japan world title on not the New Japan show. Like, that is, to me, that's bullshit. I don't care what any, like, you could, that's wonderful that you like New Japan and everything.
Right.
So I have enough respect for New Japan to tell you, okay, you're their world champion. You go to their show and you defend that title on their show, not on this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much respect I have for New Japan. Like, I think this is so, I think it's kind of disrespectful. And then just like, I love Powerhouse Hobbs, but that's a random person. That's a random person compared to who should be fighting for. This is their title. This is their strap. And you just made a random match out of it. You should be, if you are a New Japan fan, you should be upset.
Oh, it's a Tony Khan effect.
Yep, you should be upset. Like, forget how much you hate WWE and all that bull. Like, this ain't about WWE. I'm talking about these two shows. This should upset you that your title, that the New Japan title, was defended on an American show in the middle of Florida somewhere against a guy who's not even ranked in their in their company.
Yep. I don't know. I don't.
L.
Over.
And then we're not getting. We already talked about the end segment. L.
Who else? Who else you got?
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well, one of my losers obviously was Tony Khan for this week. Just, I don't know what he was thinking when he decided to do this segment with Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. Especially when he said that he wasn't going to get into the ring and start doing stuff like Vince McMahon and the whole Vince McMahon family. But obviously he's, again, taking back his words and stepping into the ring. And, we're probably going to end up seeing him on the next pay-per-view wrestling against Jack Perry. Maybe this is where Kenny Omega steps in and helps out in some way. The audio from Dynamite on Wednesday definitely gets an L for me because I didn't understand one word that anybody was saying. It felt muffled. It felt like if I was on an MTA subway station platform and I was trying to get the announcements. Like, that's how bad it was to me as a New Yorker. If you live in New York, you would know my pain when it comes to trying to hear an announcement from a train conductor when you barely understand what they're saying.
Here you are trying to get somewhere.
Exactly. My last loser of the week has to go to WWE for the simple fact that you gave Becky Lynch this title when you have a person like Nia Jax sitting there killing it every single week and you talking about you can't put this strap on her. It's ridiculous.
No. And again, I think there were a number, like, not just Nia. I think there were a number of people that it would have just given it a fresh main event look.
Exactly.
To have one of them win it is what I was saying. You've gotten into a good problem, like a good problem to have, that you have a number of women that you can count on to have a good match. You don't need to, like, Becky doesn't have to be the one that, I'm worried about this match, I need it to be good, let's just do Becky. You don't have to do that anymore. You have a number of women that I think can consistently give you a good match.
Yep. What does Jamal have to say here? He goes, stop, Tony Khan is going to get a 500-star rating and he's going to hit Jack Perry with the Coke Head Destroyer. No, not the Coke Head Destroyer.
Yeah, if I see, like, I will tell you, like, so
Powder 50.
If they do a Canadian Destroyer with Tony Khan, No hardcore AEW fan can tell me anything else ever. Like that's the end. Like don't tell me it. Don't say AEW and WWE's. Comparing them anymore.
Right.
Like if Tony Khan does a Canadian destroyer, like that's it. Like
I mean, it's bound to happen. You know who's the
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 for Tony, and that's Aubrey.
Oh,
Mark
God.
my words. Mark my words. When he gets in the ring to wrestle, she's gonna be the referee.
The lady that the guy was saying that doesn't go to
Yep.
that doesn't
Yep. Remember that.
that doesn't go to business for herself.
One of my winners is obviously Swerve for finally becoming the first black champion that they had in AEW for the World Heavyweight Championship. Can't forget about Scorpio Sky, but for to be the World Heavyweight
Where the
Champion.
hell is Scorpio Sky?
I don't know. He's chilling somewhere in catering. But good for Swerve. He worked really hard for it, even though everyone on Black Twitter hates him for the things that he says about other, people of color and how he just steps over them to get where he needs to get to, which is fine because that's the way the world works. And that's, it's typical. It happens. No one's going to be all together singing Kumbaya as we step into the light.
It doesn't happen.
Another winner that I have for this week is Chad Gable. That promo that he cut on Monday was everything that we needed to hear.
Yes.
All right, and he's continuing to grow as a character and as a leader. And he's showing that you listen. You can put the strap on Chad Gable, he's gonna be fine.
Yep. No, I like what I see from him. Very compelling, and that's what you're asking for with this art form. You got to be compelling. You got to have people feel one way or the other. Let's start keeping it a buck. It's not about the spots. Like it's not about how many spots you can do. And that's what I was, that's what I forgot to say, and this brought it back in my mind.
Right.
This is the weakness of Will Ospreay, and you're gonna hear it on this show. His problem is that he's so young, right? So that's the one thing, like, because it could change, like, so. But for right now, he's so young. He's in that, I want to do what I want to do, and I don't want you to tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Okay, and then you're not getting that the bread and butter to this art form is getting people to care. It's not about the oohs and ahs.
Right.
Okay, so he's addicted to the oohs and ahs. All right, and that's the problem. And I predict. So here's my prediction that so far I've been pretty good with these. WWE is going to start to put Ricochet parallel to him. They do the same moves.
Yeah. We've seen it when they wrestled each other in the indies.
Right. They do the same moves. If you like Will Ospreay, go watch a Ricochet match.
Yep.
They do the same moves. They do. Okay. Ricochet does them cleaner. I said it. I stand. This is why I told you I went and watched some matches before I said that.
Right.
He does them cleaner.
We got to put the poll up on the IG and see what
he does them clean.
Think.
So if you don't believe me, okay, how many more people has Will Ospreay dropped on their head than Ricochet doing the same stuff? Remember, they're doing the same moves.
Right.
Okay, that move that Daniel Bryan fell in that they're doing in the corner. Ricochet does that on a weekly basis.
No, that's true.
On a weekly basis, almost every match you've seen Ricochet in, he does that move, and nobody has fell on their fucking head. Okay, that move that he does, where he drives you down onto the. So, again, let me have somebody that was a wrestler. Can back me up on this. It is not safe to land on the back of your neck.
That's crazy.
And have your whole body weight land right here. That's what that move does. That's why it looks, by the time they hit the mat, it looks safe and you think it's safe.
But it's really not.
It's not. No, they're landing right here. And then they just kind of put their arms out by the time they land. So it looks like, okay, oh, that was okay.
Right.
No. So when he breaks somebody's neck, I don't want to hear a damn word. Like, especially from the folks telling me he's the best wrestler on the planet right now. I'm like, no, I disagree. I see somebody do exactly his moveset right now and do it cleaner than he does. Okay, you're going for spots, and you guys are missing the point of this art form. It is about storytelling. It is about making the people feel something for your character.
Exactly.
He goes for himself. Like Daniel Bryan found that out in the middle of this match. He goes for himself.
And it was a good match, but there were a lot of spots in that match.
Yes.
That was just off.
Yes, because he goes for himself. I'm telling you. I'm saying it like, if you guys, whoever can come for me, I don't care. I'll let this dude dig his own hole after I said this, and then everybody's gonna come back and say, "Damn, I heard DJ say this first."
Yep.
Dude is not. He's all right. He's fun to watch. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying he sucks, but this whole thing where he's the best wrestler on the planet right now, no. No. Okay, he's kind of sloppy.
Right.
He's horrible on the microphone.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, this saying "bruv" every other word is not going to. And then let me keep bringing up the reason why I didn't go to WWE, so that I can rattle a cage. Okay,
right.
so once that whole thing is over, let's see him on the mic after that, when we don't care about what happened with your WWE negotiation. Let's see how you are on the mic. Telling you. So after he wins this TNT title coming up,
right? Exactly.
Like they just get shoved right down our throat. But yeah.
Oh my god. Chad is in the building still with us. He goes, give me Nia and Willow.
Ooh.
And he's the special guest referee. We know where he wants to go with that one.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2. That's about how fast it's gonna count.
Exactly. Oh man, but let's wrap this up here. Get some shout outs. Obviously, we want to shout out the Knuckleheads Network. If you guys don't know about the Knuckleheads Network, you can see it in the background of our screens over here. We're all one big happy family. You can catch the Knuckleheads Network every single day, starting at 9:00 on the Knuckleheads Network. They have a show every single day, except for, they kind of alternate the toe in the show. But sometimes it's on Fridays, sometimes it's on Saturdays, depending on the event. I don't think they're gonna have a toe in the show episode this Friday because there's a wrestling event going on here in New York, and I think they're going to it. Ooh. And then most likely it'll be Saturday. But check them out every single week, from 9 to 12. If you like comic books, if you like movies, sports, wrestling, like you're watching us right now, obviously, they have a show for everybody, and it's always a great time, a whole lot of laughs. So definitely check out everybody over at the Knuckleheads Network. Next, we have the Fig Cave podcast. There are our fellow brothers here in wrestling. They have their own Facebook group where you have hundreds of different collectors buying and selling and trading different action figures, from Hot Toys all the way to AEW and WWE. You can even find, what was it, the NBA action figures that they had. The starting lineups. I got those. I got those for my kids a couple of weeks ago from Mike. And it's a really great group. You can join the Patreon just for the start of $1. It's going to get you into the Facebook group, and then you could just meet people like Chad and Jamal and myself and DJ and Phil and Tom and Zach, where everyone's just helping everybody out. If there's something, especially here in New York where there's so many collectors, I can reach out to Chad and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And Chad is always out just
Chad is
shopping
always-
around, and he
Yeah.
just and randomly will find it and be like, "Oh, look, I found what you were looking for," and he's
Yeah.
gonna give it to me at retail, and all I have to do is just pay the shipping. You know what I
Every
mean?
time
And
I
that's
go
a
to the
great
Mattel
thing.
store, every time I go to the Mattel store over here, I got Chad on the speed dial.
Yeah, so you know,
So-
it's a great group, and they have a podcast that comes out every single Thursday where they break down all the latest in figure news. So definitely, go check them out and let them know that when you sign up for the Patreon, let them know that you heard it from Kenny and DJ. We love to help each other, so this is a great way to continue the cycle of the brotherhood that we have here of just helping each other out. Also, shout out to the Jobbeteers podcast. They are teaming up with Battle Club Pro, which is a local wrestling promotion here in New York. They have a big show coming up on Sunday, which is the Battle Club Pro's first show back for the new year. It's going to be a great one. There's a lot of great matches. We are actually sponsoring one of the matches, one of the bigger matches that are there. Between Yaya and Cosmic is champion versus champion. I'll most likely will be in the building. I have some stuff I need to take care of first before I go over there. And if you see me out there, you're in the New York area and you're going to Battle Club Pro. If you see me, say hello. Definitely would take a picture for my Instagram. So definitely check those guys out. Shout outs to our sponsors, SeatGeek. If you are new to SeatGeek and you're looking to get some tickets, use the code word to call up on your first order. That's going to save you $20. And Ringside Collectibles, like I said, if you're looking for action figures and maybe you don't want to post anything on the Fake Cave, and you kind of just you see it on Ringside Collectibles and you want to buy it, use the code word to call up, saves you 10% on your order, and that 10% does go a long way. Barrios Toys out on the West Coast, they have a whole bunch of signings going on over there. It's a great staff of people that run that store over there. DJ goes there all the time. I'm hoping
the selection as well. Like even past the signings, man, like you find the stuff there. Like
Right.
you can find the ladder, the Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels ladder match and stuff like that there all the time. So
wow.
No, so you even for your collection, you want to stop by. You want to stop by.
I definitely, when I go to the West Coast, that's one of the stores that I want to visit when I go over there. Anybody else that we're missing that you want to shout out, or?
Man, just so we got the clown gave us a quick correction where the Fig Cave is on Wednesday.
Okay.
And no, it's recorded, and no, but in case you wanted to catch it live, it's Wednesday. And yeah, shouts out, like I said, so my boy Leonard, and just telling everybody, look, every AEW show I will be at this Dave and Buster's in Torrance.
Let's go.
So come on, like I said, it's free. It's actually all they do is say, hey, you can sit at the bar, you can and just buy one drink, and you can stay the entire pay-per-view. So yeah, I will be there every time. So come, you can come sit with me, and we can holler at the screen together. And just everybody and then everybody that was here with us live, still cheer, like, all the way across the planet and was here with us. You know what I mean? So that's dope. Everybody's welcome here. Everybody, whatever opinion you got, come on with it. This is what we do this for. This is probably everybody's. This is probably our therapy for the week, right?
Exactly.
so I'm happy that everybody always comes in here and hangs with us, and yeah, tell your friends, like, subscribe on YouTube. That helps a lot. Okay, and then, like I said, and make sure you're telling people, like, this show should be out there. Like we should be out there. So let's keep the train going.
Exactly. Guys, until next time, be safe. Get those comments together, because we'll be back next Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, for another edition of the Call Out Podcast. Until next time, everybody,